Temilolu was at rest. As she trailed behind Mr. Martins and Adesuwa, she wasn't sure what she was expecting to find, but the unease in Adesuwa's eyes had been impossible to ignore. Hiding behind the pillar of the school building, she watched as Mr. Martins led Adesuwa to his car. They drove off together, leaving Temi standing in shock. This isn't normal, she muttered to herself. Determined, she hailed a bike and followed them at a safe distance, her mind swelling with questions. Mr. Martins drove to a quiet, secluded lodge on the outskirts of town. Temi felt her stomach churn as she watched them enter the building. She had heard stories about things like this, but she never thought it could happen to someone as close as Adesuwa. Pulling out her phone, Temi began recording. She captured the car license plates, the lodge sign, and even managed to film Adesuwa hesitantly walking in with Mr. Martins. This isn't just a fight anymore, Temi whispered. Inside the lodge, Adesuwa sat on the edge of a worn-out sofa, her hands clenched in her lap. Mr. Martins poured himself a drink and smirked at her. You've been acting strange lately, Adesuwa, he said, swirling his glass. I hope you're not thinking of betraying me. Adesuwa looked up, her eyes filled with a quiet defense. I don't want to do this anymore, she said firmly. Mr. Martins chuckled, setting his glass down. Do you think you have a choice? I own you, Adesuwa. If you try to leave, I'll make sure you lose everything. Your scholarship, your future, everything. Adesuwa resolve wavered. She wanted to scream, to fight back, but the weight of his threats crushed her spirit. Outside, Temi was dialing the number of the school principal. She hesitated for a moment. What if they don't believe me? What if they turn it all against Adesuwa? No, she said to herself. I won't let him get away with this. Temi sent the video evidence she has recorded to the principal's phone, along with a message. You need to see this. One of your teachers abusing a student. Then, she waited in the shadow, her heart pounding, as she prayed she had done the right thing. The next morning, the school was in chaos. The principal had called an emergency meeting with the board of directors, and he summoned Mr. Martins to his office. Adesuwa was also called in, but Temi intercepted her before she could go in. Adesuwa, I know what is going on, Temi said, holding her friend's hand. I followed you yesterday. I recorded everything. Adesuwa's eyes widened in shock and fear. You did what? I couldn't sit back and watch him destroy you, Temi said firmly. The principal has evidence now. You don't have to be afraid anymore. Tears streamed down Adesuwa's face as relief and fear clashed within her. Temi, you don't understand. If this gets out, my parents will be devastated. My life will be ruined. No, it won't, Temi said. You are the victim here. Adesuwa is the one who should be afraid. In the principal's office, Mr. Martins initially denied everything. This is absurd, he exclaimed. Adesuwa is lying. She's just a troublemaker. But when the principal played the video, his confidence crumbled. You have until the end of the day to pack your belongings and leave the school, the principal said coldly. You will also be reported to the authorities. We do not tolerate predators here. Adesuwa sat silently, her head bowed as the room erupted in argument. She felt exposed and humiliated, but also relieved that someone had finally stood up for her. News of the scandal spread quickly. Some students sympathized with Adesuwa, while others whispered cruel rumors. Temi stood beside her, defending her fiercely. Anyone who has a problem with Adesuwa has a problem with me, Temi declared one day when a group of girls mocked Adesuwa in the cafeteria. At home, Adesuwa's parents were devastated when they learned the truth. Her father wept openly, blaming himself for sending her to the school. I failed you, he said, holding her tightly. No, Papa, Adesuwa said. You didn't fail me. I just made a mistake. A month later, Adesuwa discovered she was pregnant. The realization hit her like a thunderbolt. She couldn't hide it forever, and when her parents found out, they were heartbroken all over again. You are too young for this, her mother said, tears streaming down her face. What will happen to your future now? Adesuwa didn't have an answer. She felt like her dreams had crumbled to dust. Temi refused to let Adesuwa give up. This isn't the end for you, she said. We will find a way to get you through this. You are still the smartest person I know, and you still have a bright future. With Temi's help, Adesuwa began attending therapy sections and focusing on rebuilding her life. She decided to keep the baby, despite the challenges ahead. I will make something of myself, she vowed one day as she crowded her growing belly, for my child and for myself. Though the road ahead was uncertain, Adesuwa's destination burned brighter than ever. She had lost much, but still had her intelligence, her resilience, and a friend who believed in her. And as she stood at the threshold of her journey, she knew one thing for sure: she would never let her past divine harm.